This is the tallest geyser in the world when active. Steamboat's unpredictable eruptions can expel great amounts of water to almost unbelievable heights. Some eruptions are more than 3 times the size of Old Faithful. Steamboat was almost non-existent prior to 1878, when its first known major eruption occurred. The surrounding area reflects its destructive power. The star attraction at Norris is a Kainis geyser. Shown here in time-lapse, its pool slowly fills with water during its typical 35 to 70-minute interval as it prepares for the next eruption. You look down on a Kainis from a spectacular vantage point. Nowhere else can you get this view from above such a large geyser. Soon the pool begins to boil violently. Bursts of steam and water begin to explode. Each burst is different. Some shoot straight up into the air, others are angled. Some reach heights of 100 feet. Eruptions typically last from 6 to 15 minutes, but can last for 60 minutes or longer. There is an extraordinary variety of geysers in the back basin, and like the rest of Yellowstone, they're constantly changing. The Mud Volcano area is a small but fascinating destination on the east side of the park. At the time of its discovery, Mud Volcano could be heard a mile away, and the ground around it shook. Today it's much smaller, but its energetic bubbling suggests a bridled power below. Dragon's Mouth is a turbulent hot spring in a cave-like setting. Water sloshes back and forth like waves breaking on a beach. One of the most interesting features in the area is Black Dragon's Cauldron. It was created in 1948 in a violent explosion that blew trees out by their roots and covered the nearby forest with mud. Since its discovery, it shifted 200 feet from its original location. The water supply here is limited and there's little runoff, creating a mass of seething black mud. Churning Cauldron is not boiling hot as it may appear, but rather its waters churn from escaping carbon dioxide gases. Nearby Sizzling Basin is a small collection of pools that merely bubble with these gases. Sulphur Cauldron gets its name from the abundance of sulfur in its scalding, frothing waters. West Thumb, located on the shores of Yellowstone Lake, is one of the most picturesque geyser basins in all of Yellowstone. This is but a small collection of springs and geysers, yet it offers visitors one of the most scenic walks anywhere. The main portion of thermal activity lies in an area less than 1,000 feet long and extends inland only a few hundred feet from the shores of Yellowstone Lake. For reasons unknown, West Thumb underwent a drastic decline in water levels in the 1970s, and activity here temporarily decreased. The largest geyser here is Twin. It's had periods of activity where eruptions reached heights of 100 feet, but for most of its recorded history, it's been dormant. West Thumb is probably more noted for its beautiful hot springs and for the beauty and color of their runoff channels. Most pools, like Lakeside Spring, overflow their heated water almost directly into Yellowstone Lake.
Rocks. Some people skip them, stack them, or just...
22.
Tomorrow on the Discovery Channel. There are some things you just can't afford to reuse. Fridays at 9 Eastern, 8 Central. Only on the Discovery Channel.
This young man...
Premiering Sunday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on the Discovery Channel.
Here is fishing cone. In the early days of the park, fishermen were said to have cooked their fish while still on the hook. In the early summer, when the lake's water level is at its highest, fishing cone may be completely underwater. Beautiful Ephedra Spring was named not for some mythical Greek god, but for a tiny fly that feeds on the algae and bacteria around the springs. Abyss Pool is noted for its seemingly bottomless depth and bright displays of algae and bacteria along its edge. Black Pool is one of the largest in West Thumb. Its cooler temperature is responsible for an abundance of colorful bacteria. This and the reflection of blue from its waters gives the dark appearance for which it's named. The geyser basins of Yellowstone have been the scene of many changes over the years. Their future is uncertain, unpredictable. For within the very origin of this serene landscape lies the potential for volcanic activity unparalleled in modern times. Another major earthquake in the region could forever change that which has become so familiar. And change, like the seasons, is certain. The winter of 1992 saw witness to this certainty. Without notice, thermal activity shifted at West Thumb. Water levels in many of the springs dropped drastically. Where beautiful Ephedra Spring once overflowed with water, now lies an almost barren depression. Twin Geyser lies drained and powerless. Water and heat has shifted. In their place, Abyss Pool has become superheated. From the depths of this once calm pool, a geyser has come to life. Considering all we know about the geyser basins of Yellowstone, they remain a fantastic paradox, an amazing contrast of stability and change. Geysers are complex, yet their simple beauty requires no explanation. The basins change constantly. Year after year, visitors return to find them much the same. Yet seemingly little has changed. Even as winter throws an icy blanket of silence over Yellowstone, the roar of a defiant old faithful is still one of the most reverent experiences that a person can behold. Maybe it was a moment such as this that inspired novelist Thomas Wolfe to write, "It is the one place where miracles not only happen, but where they happen all the time."
Tomorrow, hit the highs and lows of Russia's celestial mountains on Wild Discovery. Then take a journey into the world of locomotives, the history, and the future. Train design and technology. Super Trains on Sci-Trek Saturday tomorrow.